Hey guys, so today we're going to answer a subscriber question that I got the other day, which I thought was a pretty interesting one. And the question was basically this: Fredrik, in my region it's literally impossible to get a job as a junior software developer because every company requires me to have prior work experience. What gives? What's that about? So let's get into it. Now, this person is experiencing something that it's not everybody gets to go through this little charade, but it's something that you should be aware of. The first job in software development, guys, is usually the trickiest one to get because there's quite a few companies who are hiring software developers, but they are not necessarily hiring complete beginners because a beginner requires education. I know it sounds baffling, right? That you have the mentality that you only hire people who already have experience, and if you're following along, that kind of means that no juniors are being produced, like that you're not getting any training. Luckily enough, not every company is this way. However, if we kind of flip this a little bit and look at it from the perspective of the employers and so forth, remember something, guys. This is a technical field. Programming is not impossible. You are definitely smart enough to be a programmer, and you're definitely smart enough to work in IT, but it is not something that you just do, like without any type of training, without any education or anything like that. And this is why I fight these people tooth and nail every single time somebody comes to me and says that I became a software developer in 3 months, and I go, bull fucking shit that you became a software developer in 3 months. Maybe you learned some basic coding, and maybe you were so fortunate enough that you got a job working at a software company that has the bare bone basic needs for coding when it comes to coding skills. Or maybe you had, it's basically like winning the lottery. You just had a company that was willing to educate you from scratch. Because on average, companies have a higher requirement than that level of education. And this is what this person is experiencing. It's kind of funny because the way that I see it, it's that some companies just plainly will not hire a junior, just period. That's not just because of, you not being experienced. It also has to do with the fact that they don't, like, their business model is oriented around hiring seniors or mid-level programmers and just renting out hours. This is very common in some consultancies where, they're not interested in training people, they're interested in making money. There's no, like, they have a pool of experienced people that they can tap into that fills their needs. Because that's the big secret people are not telling you guys. As a junior developer, the reason why you're getting hired is not because people are nice. It's because they have calculated that it's going to be more economical for them to hire you as opposed to trying to figure out a way of finding somebody who is more experienced. That's the whole thing. It's a basic equation, cost-benefit ratio. That's it. It has nothing to do with being a nice organization, being a bad organization. It has to do with money, because this is a business, guys. It's not about being nice, it's about making money. So, what that basically means is that as a junior developer, the first job may be the trickiest one for you to get. And in this scenario where he's in a region where they all require you to have prior work experience, remember, that's not because they want to be mean to you, it is because they are unable to, there's a few options. They're either unable to train you. In other words, they have no interest, they see no value in training you as an individual, because there's either enough people for them with work experience that can do the job for them, then why would they need you? That's the mentality. And the other one is that they simply require work experience because they have most likely had bad experiences with software developers with 3 months of experience coming in the door and trying to portray themselves as being more experienced than they are, and then they get hired and they basically mess up quite badly. That's not always the case, of course, but you should be aware of, guys, that Software development, depending on at which level you work, requires certain skills and certain levels of experience in order to be able to do effectively. And for an employer, remember, they're running a business. It's not a charity. They're trying to get in somebody who is going to weigh up the cost of that salary that they're paying you. And if they are unable to figure out whether or not you know what you know, because let's be honest here, there's so many people around who are software developers that it's kind of tricky. I mean, I've made so many videos where I've explained to you how tricky it is to actually verify if somebody knows what they claim to know, because everybody claims that they're a software developer. Even if they just took a Udacity course, then you're a software developer, right? Wrong. Wrong. You know some basic coding. That's not the same thing as being a professional, because being a professional takes time. It takes time to learn software development to a point where you can just do it wherever you go. Anywho, so asking for prior work experience is actually a very safe thing to do, because if you do that as a company, you don't really have to test people. If you've already been, because that's kind of the idea. I've met a few companies like that, where they simply say that, oh, we will not hire anybody who has less than 1 year or 2 years or 3 years of work experience. Just bottom line, because for them, that's the easiest way to verify that, all right, we're going to get somebody who knows the craft, who has already been tested by some other company, who took a risk on this junior and trained them and did all the stuff, got them kind of warmed up for us. And when that has been done, then we can swoop in and give them a decent salary, because we know that now the initial investment in this person's education has already been made by somebody else, and we can now make money off them from day one, because that is their business model. So, what can you do as a developer or a junior developer in this scenario who faces this sort of ecosystem? Well, it all boils down to the fact that unfortunately, you can't fake work experience. That's not possible. But what you can do is that you can have a look at the company, because there are companies like this, guys, but they are not exclusive. There are plenty of companies who hire juniors. And then we come back to the same discussion we've had a few times before. The idea, guys, is for you to get to a point where you have the skills to be productive as quickly as possible. The best way for you to do that is to be not just learn tools, but really learn software development, so you understand, because that's the biggest part of it, guys, to learn proper software development, how it all works. And then after you've done that, you're going to have to add some projects to your CV, or all these different things you do in order to kind of sell the idea that you are efficient and you're proficient and you're skilled, if you will, in software development. So don't let it get to you that some companies don't hire juniors who are fresh out of college or don't have all that much work experience. Because there are all kinds of companies. There are plenty of companies who hire people without any prior work experience. So it kind of just boils down to, having the personal strength to apply for jobs and just be able, that's the biggest tip I can give you. Be emotionally ready for this. Know that you want to be a software developer, because it's not a fairy tale, guys. It's not like every company is just going to hire you because you are a software developer. You're going to have to take some pushbacks or some fail. You have to be able to deal with at an emotional level with being turned down for jobs, or being told that you're not smart enough, or being denied a job or something like that. That's part of growing up, guys. It's not possible to be the best at everything. And if you get a no, you do the thing that everybody has to do. All right? You feel bad about it, and then you apply for the next job. Have a great day.